Level 1, the surface. You think you know what an animal is. You've seen the documentaries, you've read the field guides. A dog smells better than you. A hawk sees farther. That's the easy layer. That's what they teach in school. But you're already missing something. Right now, your dog isn't just smelling last night's dinner on your hands. It's reading your cortisol output. It knows you're stressed before you've processed it yourself. You thought that was affection. It was diagnosis. Your dog's been running this assessment every time you walk through the door. You never noticed. Elephants detect seismic vibrations through the bones of their feet. Low-frequency rumbles travel miles through ground. Another herd signals danger. The elephant registers it. You're standing right there. You missed the whole transmission. You didn't have the hardware. You still don't. Level 2, the communication. You're in a forest. You think it's quiet. It isn't. Trees are exchanging chemical signals through fungal networks running beneath your feet right now. A damaged oak releases volatile compounds into the air. Neighboring trees absorb them and begin producing tannins in response. Defensive chemistry, activated by a message you had no equipment to receive. You walked past it. Whales are having conversations 500 miles long. Their low-frequency calls travel through ocean layers called SOFAR channels, pathways where sound bends and moves at maximum efficiency. One whale near Japan can hear another off Iceland. They've been using this channel for millions of years. You didn't know it existed until 1940. Bats are mapping your entire room in real time. They're not just detecting obstacles, they're building three-dimensional models from returning sound waves. They've cataloged you as a large stationary object and moved on. Level 3, the memory. You assume memory scales with brain size. That's your first mistake. Clark's nutcrackers cache up to 30,000 seeds across hundreds of locations and retrieve most of them months later under several inches of snow. Their spatial recall outperforms yours on tasks specifically designed to measure spatial memory in humans. Octopuses recognize individual human faces. They track which researcher fed them last week. They remember who agitated them during an experiment 3 months ago. They hold grudges. One researcher at a Seattle aquarium kept getting hit with cold salt water during feeding rounds. Her colleagues didn't. The octopus singled her out every time across 6 weeks. It never forgot her face. You assume other species lose details over time. For some of them, that assumption's wrong. The record doesn't fade. It stays intact and gets used. Level 4, the social architecture. You think you understand hierarchy. Spotted hyena clans run on strict matrilineal lines. A male born into the clan ranks below every female, including cubs. The social order is maintained through alliances and long-term relationships tracked across years. Hyenas remember social debts. They cooperate with individuals who cooperated with them before. They withhold help from those who didn't. The record spans years without a written language to store it. Crows recognize your specific face. They warn other crows about you. They hold what researchers call funerals, gathering around dead group members, going silent, studying the body. The behavior's been documented across multiple continents. Crows pass threat information to their offspring. A crow you startled years ago told its children about you. Your face moved into their cultural memory without your awareness or consent. Level 5, the navigation. You need a GPS to cross a new city. A monarch butterfly crosses 3,000 miles on its first migration without ever having made the trip. It uses magnetic field detection, solar position, and a time-compensated sun compass calibrated to the hour of the day. It's never been to Mexico. It finds the same grove its great-grandparents used. A pigeon released 400 miles from its loft finds home faster than you'd find a neighborhood you visited twice. It integrates magnetic gradients, infrasound maps, olfactory cues, and visual landmarks simultaneously. Sea turtles return to the exact beach where they hatched, sometimes 30 years later. They detect the Earth's magnetic field as a coordinate system, measuring both intensity and inclination to triangulate position. Your instruments struggle to match that precision. The turtle does it on instinct. Level 6, the senses you don't have words for. Sharks detect electrical fields. Every working muscle produces one. You're broadcasting your location through the water in a signal language you didn't know existed. A shark doesn't need to see you. It follows the gradient directly to your position. Electroreception. You don't have a word for what that experience feels like from the inside because you've never had anything close to it. Platypuses have it too. They hunt with their eyes closed, following electrical signals from shrimp mussels in the riverbed sediment. Mantis shrimp carry 16 types of photoreceptors. You have 3. Theirs register polarized light, ultraviolet, infrared. What color looks like through a mantis shrimp's visual system is something you can't construct. Your brain doesn't have the architecture to build the image. Pigeons see magnetic field lines as a visual overlay and navigate by watching the field move. Level 7. The deception. Animals lie. They've been doing it longer than language existed. The fork-tailed drongo in Africa mimics the alarm calls of meerkats. When a meerkat finds food, the drongo produces a fake alarm. The meerkat drops the food and runs. The drongo eats it. When the meerkats stop responding to one call type, the drongo switches to another. It's managing a deception strategy in real time. Fireflies in the genus Photurus mimic the mating signals of smaller firefly species. Males approach expecting a partner. They get eaten. The female runs multiple signal patterns and rotates between them. Orchids mimic female bees in scent, shape, and surface texture. They trick males into attempting to mate and carrying their pollen to the next flower. No nectar, no reward. The plant takes everything. The bee contributes and gains nothing. This has been running for millions of years. Level 8. What you didn't want to acknowledge. You told yourself they don't feel it the way you do. You needed that to stay true. An elephant spends days beside a dead calf. It returns repeatedly and touches the bones with its trunk. Elephants have been documented approaching the bones of entirely unrelated elephants with apparent focus, turning remains over, going still. Chimpanzee mothers carry dead infants for weeks. They groom them. They refuse to leave. Documented cases show mothers carrying decomposed infants for up to 68 days. Dolphins support dead calves at the water's surface. They do it alone, away from the group for days at a time. You decided these weren't real feelings because the animals couldn't describe them. That was your criterion for what counted. It wasn't theirs. Level 9, what's still buried. You've mapped roughly 20% of the ocean floor with any meaningful resolution. New species still come up in trawling nets in numbers that genuinely surprise marine biologists every survey season. A 2023 expedition to a single seamount in the southeastern Pacific documented over 100 species new to science in 2 weeks. Insects communicate through substrate vibrations you've only recently begun measuring. Plants grow roots toward the sound of running water, detecting it through mechanisms still being studied. Cephalopods display shifting skin patterns during sleep that researchers believe reflect active dreaming. An octopus cycles through color changes and texture shifts in sequences lasting several minutes. You're watching something you don't have the tools to interpret yet. You can't ask it what it's seeing. You're standing next to it. You're still missing most of the signal.